In today's video, I'll be showing you how to make the Apple liquid glass effect that I used in this animation. The goal of today's video is to show you how to make the effect, animate it, and duplicate it to make more. I'll be releasing an in-depth tutorial on how to do the whole animation along with a project file I made in my Skool community. The link is in the description box below. Now, let's get into After Effects. Alright, we are here in After Effects with an open composition, and I have a background in here. First, I'm going to show you how to make the liquid glass element. So what we're going to do is go to our Shape tool, and we're going to click and hold to bring up our options, and we're going to make sure that we have rounded rectangle tool selected. Then we're going to draw out a rounded rectangle like this onto our composition. Set the fill to a solid black and turn off the stroke. And we're going to go to the roundness here, and we're going to crank it up to like 300. And now with our shape layer that we just created, I'm going to duplicate it twice to make a total of 3 layers. So Control or Command D on your keyboard twice to make 3 layers. And we're going to rename all of these. So shape layer 1 on the bottom, we're going to name Effect. Shape layer 2 in the middle, we're going to name Map. Shape layer 3 at the top, we will name Glow. And now with the shape layers, we're going to add effects. So we're going to start with the glow layer. We're going to right click on it and go to Layer Styles, and we're going to choose Inner Glow. We're going to open up Inner Glow. We're going to change the blend mode to normal. We're going to change the color here to white. And let's scroll down here, and we're going to crank up the size to about 70 or so. Let's close that. And we're going to change the mode, the blending mode of the actual layer to lighten. And if you don't see this column here in the timeline, you can click this button in the bottom left, which brings up and closes the blending mode. So make sure that is selected. And we're going to add one more layer style to glow. We're going to right click on it again, go to Layer Styles, and we're going to select Inner Shadow. And we're going to open up Inner Shadow. Make sure you're clicking on Inner Shadow, which is going to be above Inner Glow. Sometimes I'll accidentally click on Inner Glow thinking that the Inner Shadow is going to be on the bottom, but it'll actually be above it. And we're going to open that up. We're going to change blend mode to normal. We're going to change the color to white. And we're going to increase the choke. We'll do like 29 is fine. Close that, and we will close the glow layer, and then we're going to hide that layer for now. Let's go to the map, and we're going to add one layer style to that. We'll right click, go to Layer Style, and click Bevel and Emboss. We'll open up Bevel and Emboss, and we're going to bring up the size to like 35, and then we're just going to change highlight opacity, bring it up to 100, and shadow opacity we will also bring to 100. And we can close the map layer and hide it. Now let's go to the effect layer, and we're going to add some effects here. So I'm going to close this properties panel and open up our effects and presets. The first one I'm going to add is our displacement map. I'll double click that. Then go up to effects controls, and for displacement map layer, we're going to change this to our map layer, and then we'll change the source to effects and masks. And use for horizontal displacement and for vertical displacement. We're going to change both of those to luminance, and then max horizontal and vertical displacement. We're going to crank these up to like about 100 roughly. And we're going to add another effect, which is detail preserving upscale. We'll double click on that. I'm going to bring it above displacement map, and I'm going to change the scale here to like 110. Awesome, and you'll see it looks a little bit weird now, but don't worry, we will fix that right now. Last thing we're going to do on this effect layer is go right here and click this button to make it an adjustment layer. And you now see kind of what we're working with. And lastly, we're going to go back to glow and turn that on or make it visible here. Keep map invisible. And there you go. We have our liquid glass effect. And you can, make changes to it. Like here, it's very translucent. You can see right through it, which I really like. But if you want to make it glossy, kind of like some of them that I used in the animation, we can click on the effect and we can add a tint. And we can change the tint color to like a more white, and then change the opacity of the tints to something like that and make it a little bit more glossy if you're going for that kind of look. You can also add a color to it, which I think looks kind of cool. Like, let's make it red, kind of like that flower. That looks kind of cool. Let's hide the tint. And we can also add a blur to it to also add like a different kind of glossiness to it. Let's search fastbox blur, take off repeat edge pixels, and we'll bring it up. Awesome. That looks cool. So that is how to create the actual liquid glass element. Now I want to show you how to animate it or change the size of this. So to do that, let's go ahead and take the glow and map layers, select both of them, and parent them to the effect layer. Now with them parented, we can just select the effect layer and we can actually just move this around. And since the other two layers are parented, they all move at the same time. And we can click P and keyframe the position. Just like that. Awesome. And we can also keyframe the size to make it like animate from having no size to what it's at now. And I'll show you how to do that. So select all three of the layers, so glow, map, and effect. And what I would do is in the search bar, search the word size and hit enter. And I'm going to bring up this panel here a little bit higher to see all of this. So each of these layers has a rectangle path 1 size. We're going to unlink all of them. And then we just want to parent the size of the glow and map to the effect layer. So let's do that. Take the pick whip that is at rectangle path 1 size for the glow. Bring it to the size of the effect. Same thing for map. Take the rectangle path 1 size and bring it to the size of the effect layer. Awesome. Let's close these layers. Actually, I'm going to bring up the size for this one again. And I'll bring this panel back down. And now we can keyframe the size of all these. So let's bring this out here. Let's change this to 0. Awesome. Let's just these a little bit, make them the same, and I will easy ease this by highlighting them and clicking F9. Awesome. And so yeah, basically by linking these together, you can animate the entire liquid glass effect. And the last thing I'm going to show you is how to duplicate them if you want multiple liquid glass elements. So as you noticed in my animation, there were multiple different elements of this liquid glass effect. So basically all I did was just selected all these layers and hit Control or Command D on my keyboard to duplicate them. And move it up like this. So now we have 2. Now when you do that, what you want to do is click on the new effect layer and go to Effects, Controls, and Displacement Map. And you'll want to change this to the new map layer, so map 2. And then make sure this is still Effects and Masks. Awesome. And now we can move this one around. Just delete these keyframes. Awesome. And now we have 2 liquid glass layers, but what you'll notice is when we do this animation, we actually have this right here, which means that these are not linked in size. So when you duplicate a liquid glass effect, you need to make sure these are parented, which they are, but the size will not be parented. So you'll have to redo that here. So we'll just reselect these, type in size. Bring this back up here, change or bring the pick whip like that. Bring this back down. Now they move in tandem with each other. And that is how you make the liquid glass effect. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Again, if you want to see an in-depth tutorial on the entire animation from the beginning, then check out the link in the description. And if you want to learn more about the basics of After Effects, I'd recommend checking out this video right here. Thanks.